Course is fully set. We are ready to test. All we're waiting is for Jamie to arrive on his shiny new motorcycle. And here he comes now. On a steel horse, he rides. You know he's wanted, dead or alive.
Yep, first is the baseline for the bike without its fairing. But before Jamie gets on his bike, why did he choose it for the Beat the Car test?
The name of the game here was to find a motorcycle that is as environmentally friendly as anything currently available on the market. That means it needs to be of relatively small displacement, fuel injected, have a catalytic converter, and any other pollution controls available on motorcycles as of this date. So that's why we've selected this bike. It's a 250cc late model single-cylinder motorcycle that meets all of those qualifications.
And once again, the PEMS will sniff out all its emissions for this baseline test.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, remember, 7 big laps, 25 small ones. I'll be counting them down. Here we go, late model, low displacement bike test, and 3, 2, 1, go!
Oops.
One more time. In 3, 2, 1, go! And now we wait.
First off, Jamie goes round in circles at 50 miles per hour for 15 miles of freeway driving.
Now it's time for some city driving.
Then he's in the loop for the city conditions, complete with a stop sign at a 25 mile per hour speed limit. Finally, after looping both loops for 30 minutes in the saddle,
Now, it's a finish line.
it's time to get a readout on the control data.
The results are in. We have our baseline for our modern bike. The good news is that it's the most fuel-efficient bike we've tested by far, and it gave the cars the best run for their money we've yet achieved. The bad news, its dangerous emissions are still surprisingly high. Will our aerodynamic fairing increase the fuel efficiency, and will the increase in that fuel efficiency dilute the dangerous gases? I don't know, but it's time to bring out the bubble. The bubble bike is ready for testing. Same track, same speed. Let's see how it stacks up.
Their pimped out ride should reduce the drag on the bike and make it far more fuel efficient, and thereby minimize its harmful emissions.
Now it's time to put my money where my mouth is and see whether this thing does what it was designed to do, which is to improve the aerodynamic efficiency of this motorcycle and hence reduce its impact on the planet. Hopefully it'll do that and I won't crash or something in the process.
Oh, the prototype approaches. Are you ready for this?
I am, all set.
All right, on the green flag. Bubble bike in 3, 2, 1, go! Restart. Bubble bike test in 3, 2, 1, go! That's the second time he popped the clutch on the starting line.
After an identical start, it's an identical course, starting with a pedal-to-the-metal blast of freeway driving.
Lap 1 is away. You know those old films of like people trying to take off of cliffs and flying machines and they crash when they land? That's exactly what that thing looks like.
I'm getting to like this.
Then it's science fiction in motion as Jamie puts the bubble through its city driving paces.
It's getting kind of hot in here.
All right, Jamie, this is your last lap. Last lap.
And with that, Jamie's bubbly ride comes to an end.
Nice work, man. You are done. How'd that feel?
This thing is crazy, but I kind of like it.
I'll tell you, it looks like a weird kind of primordial airplane every time it takes off down the lane. It's gorgeous.
This thing really made me nervous at first because you can really feel the wind, a little gust, and it kind of pushes you sideways. But after a while, I started to dig it because doesn't involve the kind of buffeting that you normally have on a motorcycle. You know, you're going down the road like this, and this thing is just smooth as butter. Occasionally, you kind of glide a little this way or that way if there's a strong wind, but it seems to work quite well. The only question here is whether it takes less power to push it through the air, and that, from inside here, I can't really tell. We'll have to let the computer tell us.
Indeed, finally it's down to the emissions data to either confirm or burst this eco bubble.
I wish we had a second bike, then we could ride the two of them off into the sunset, you know?
Sure, why not? Like the sign says, it's crunch time. Let's have a look at the numbers.
All right, let's take a look and see how we did in the fuel economy category.
Well, the fairing bike did pretty well. It got 70.9 miles per gallon.
It's the best across the board. Now, I would expect, because of the increase in fuel efficiency, to see a corresponding drop in carbon dioxide emissions. Let's call up the carbon dioxide chart and see how we did.
And there you go, 105 grams. That's a fraction of everything else on the chart.
That is fantastic. Now I'd like to see how we did in all of the other emissions. Let's call up the last chart. Oh.
Not so good.
It is solidly in the middle, and the cars are still winning hands down.
Yep.
Where does that leave us?
Well, you know, it's tricky, because if you look at CO2 alone, the bikes win by a large margin.
But if you look at all the other pollutants, then the cars are far better for the environment.
I think it's got to be busted, and here's why. Over time, cars have made a remarkable improvement very steadily. And the bikes, well, the bikes have gotten better, but not near as much.
Yep, I agree. At this point in time, it is not better for the environment to trade your car for a bike.